got it. Respect.
Good morning, everyone. It is day 4 here in Panama and day 4 here in Guatemala. And today my mom and I have decided that we are going to take one of the local boats and go check out the towns across the lake. This is a really popular thing to do. Since we've been here for a few days, we've been able to ask around the prices and what to expect with the boat rides, and it's kind of been wishy-washy. We've gotten different answers kind of from everybody. So today will be really interesting what to actually expect when you're taking one of these local boats to the adjacent towns from Pana. Our hotel is literally right where the boats pick up, so we're gonna head out now, and I can't wait to tell you all about it.
Within the first minute of being outside, we were offered a boat ride, so we followed the local to the dock. There was a pretty washed out sign at the dock that showed the times and prices for round trip rides. For one way, it would have been 60 quetzales, but round trip, it was only 50. So that's what my mom and I decided to do.
150. Somos dos personas.
Dos personas.
Somos dos nomás.
The captain explained the ticket to us. Every name on the ticket was a boat that you could hop onto at the same dock that they dropped you off, as well as it showed the times and had a phone number just in case you needed to reach somebody. But don't expect anyone to speak English.
Me pueden tomar una foto del ticket si lo pierden o si lo mojan.
We should take a picture in case we lose it or we get it wet.
About 35 minutes later, and a quick stop at St. Marco and St. Juan, we landed in San Pedro. We think.
So we ended up getting kicked off our boat, which was very odd. Yeah, there was an English speaker on the boat, and he's like, this is not the stop to San Pedro. So we're like, oh, so we stayed on the boat, and then the captain ended up saying, no, you need to get off or pay more. And we're like, no problem, we'll pay more. And he's like, no, you can't, because then it'll wreck my ticketing system or something like that. And then we got kicked off. It was very odd, a little bit frustrating, but it's whatever. We were able to walk within 5 minutes from that dock to the local market in San Pedro, and now we're gonna go find some breakfast where we'll tell you more about the boat, because right now it's kind of dangerous with me having my camera out. I might get hit by a tuk-tuk. Yeah, we're gonna go find some breakfast.
Salud. Salud. We made it to San Pedro. Llegamos a San Pedro.
We just made it to where we're gonna have breakfast for today. We walked down to where we think where the other dock was, where the guy was saying that the main dock in San Pedro. And what we found out is regardless of what dock they dropped us off, it doesn't really matter. You're gonna have to walk up a hill into the main town anyway, and it's about around the same time. It's 5 to 8 minutes. It's not very long. So it was just sort of odd that we were getting kicked off, and it was a little bit odd, but whatever. We're here now. So we're at this breakfast place. There was no signage or anything saying breakfast or food or whatever. We basically just had to go in and ask, and that's something that I really actually appreciate about Guatemala, is that it's not touristized. It's not like Costa Rica, or it's not like Mexico, where everything is in English and in Spanish, and everyone speaks Spanish and English, and it's all touristized, and it's easy and fluent, and they just make it easy for tourists. Whereas here, you have to actually immerse yourself. You have to actually speak Spanish and really, really put yourself out there in order to even get a simple breakfast. Because there's nothing in English. So it's something that I really, really appreciate having to experience.
De los jóvenes.
As we were exploring the alleyways of San Pedro, we were also doing our best not to get hit by the tuk-tuks. The roads are so narrow that you have to really watch where you're going.
One reoccurring thing here is that like because we're at altitude, that the carbon emissions literally just hang out and stay here. So like the back of my throat is like it's on fire right now.
During our exploration, we come upon a beautiful Baptist church. I thought I was rolling on the church, but I apparently don't have any footage of it. While we were admiring the architecture of the Baptist church, a man came out. My mom and I both thought we were in trouble, but turns out he just wanted to let us up to the lookout.
So we thought we were in trouble for filming the place, but turns out there's actually a lookout. So one of the local seniors is going to take us up.
Hey! Catarina?
Nos vemos.
You want me to carry that backpack? No, I'm just noticing this. It's the size of you. Wow. So knowing Spanish can get you just that much, or like not just Spanish, but knowing the language of the country that you're in can just get you that much further into different, not only just different experiences, but understanding the culture and understanding like what the people here go through. You just get to understand the people more, and stuff that he was saying is like lots of what gringos come here. And what else was he saying about the gringos?
When they live here, they immerse themselves and they learn to speak both languages, the Mayan language and also Spanish.
Oh, see, that's really interesting. That's really
And in
interesting.
turn, they've been helping the people that
community.
live here to speak English, because it's important for them to know that so they can talk to tourist people. 'Cause
Exactly.
They
We
need
are
to make money somehow.
Exactly. So we're a big part of the economy. So yeah, learned something new today, which is super fascinating. I probably wouldn't have learned if I was by myself, because my Spanish is muy malo.
Malo.
There you go, muy malo.
No,
It is.
it's más o menos.
Nah. I also feel like such a tourist, and I hate that feeling. I hate sticking out like a sore thumb. But I guess it's really hard when you're a vlogger and you're carrying out a giant camera with a microphone that's going to be in it. That's where we got kicked off.
That looks like San
No,
Juan
that's
to me.
exactly it. That's the place.
Oh, yeah.
Again, it wasn't far. It's like whatever.
This was very lucky.
Yeah, those was really nice. So we are going to give the guy money anyway. That was very kind of him to like give us some sort of explanation and let us come in here and give a tour. I think it's only appropriate to do so. We are now going to catch a tuk-tuk to one of the lookouts that's near here. This is a really good way to lose an arm. Straight up. Oh my lord. Yeah, to get here is quite a walk, so I'm glad we took a trip to Mirador, which is a lookout here. So he drove us from San Pedro to San Juan, which are like the two kind of closest towns together here in this area, and it was like maybe like an 8-minute tuk-tuk ride, and it cost 10 quetzales each. So, you know, not a bad price at all. And apparently it's a really nice like 360 lookout of like the whole surrounding areas. And you could totally do this in like a day. Like we still have like 4 hours before the last boat leaves, and we're gonna finish this with tons of time. So it's something to expect. Buenas tardes.
You want something else?
Oh, that's alcohol. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Una de estas. Una agua y una de estas.
Ambas. It's probably a really bad idea to do at altitude in the middle of the day, but it's gonna be refreshing.
Live a little. I say.
Live a little. Thanks, Mom, for the support. Rookie mistake, man. Don't hike in the middle of the day. My gosh. If you're gonna do this, come in the morning or the evening. My goodness. And I'm a hiker, man. Sad.
A few moments later.
The moment we cross the hill, we get smacked with a big gust of wind, and I'm telling you, it was so hot. It was so hot climbing up that hill, but it's actually not that far. It takes like 15 minutes.
The mirador was so beautiful. You could see all of San Juan and you could see San Pedro in the background. We could even notice the Baptist church we were just at. Once we made our way down, we headed towards the dock. We didn't wait very long at the dock before the first boat came. Everyone hustled to get on. We were all ready to go home.
I'm glad that was over. That was 35 minutes of a little bit of torture. Hilariously enough, our boat was named Karen. And I got me this hat from my dad. I think I wear it well. So it's actually like been days later since we went on the boat trip, but we've been jam-packed with so many adventures and doing so many things that I just haven't got around to actually filming our thoughts, tips and tricks on, when you're taking the boat to the surrounding towns. It's our last day here in Pana, so I'm gonna get it done. So for the boats, or la lanchas as they're called, most locals come up to you and ask la lancha, and you can say no thank you or yes please, and they'll take you down to the docks where you're supposed to go. When we first got here, we did ask around, trying to gain a price before we decided when or where we wanted to go. And one of the biggest things we noticed is we were constantly being sold tours. Now it's not a bad thing. Looking back, if you wanted to do multiple towns in a row, like if you wanted to do 3 towns in one day, a tour may have been the way to do it, because if you just paid for a one-way ticket to each town, it would have added up. So if you wanted to make it a package and see more than one town in one day, that'd be probably the way to do it. We were quoted anywhere from 250 quetzales to 500. So I think the only thing that would be worthwhile if it was around 200 to 250. Otherwise, just pay town to town to town. But we didn't do that. We did round trip. So for one way, it would have been 60 quetzales per person. But if it was round trip, it was 50 per person, and you paid the full price up front. So we just paid the round trip. But it only meant to leave from the same place that we were dropped off. Was sort of the catch, but we were fine with that. That's how we wanted to do it. We wanted to go there on our own time, take as long as we wanted, and catch the last ferry back. That's how we did it, and we loved it, because we were even able to take a tuk-tuk over to the closest town next to us to go up the mirador. So it worked out well. I would recommend get to know your neighbors. It's another situation like the chicken bus where people are going to be in your space. They want to fill these things to the brim, so you're going to be sharing a seat. Having said that, they actually left a tad bit late from the dock because they wanted to fill up the boat. So even though they said we're going to be leaving at 8:30, they left almost at 8:40 because they wanted to really fill up all the seats. So to have that expectation. It was a good little trip. I was really happy to see a different side of Lake Atitlan, and I guess this was the end of the vlog, but stay tuned next week for big adventures, and we'll see you then.